Hello friends, 751 days of war. A quick update from the war zone. In south, on Kherson, Zaporizhia front, no changes in Kherson, while in Zaporizhia, in Remivki salient, some advance by the Russian forces have been reported, while towards Orikho direction the pull and push continues from both the sides. In north, on Belgorod front, the Ukrainians are still trying continuously 3rd to 4 days to advance into Belgorod direction. However, they haven't been successful. They have been using extensively UAVs, artillery and helicopters for search and rescue as well as cargo droppings. They have been also hitting various targets in Kursk as well as Belgorod regions. Towards Kharkov direction, in Kupiansk, battle continues for Sinkivka and Tabaivka. Hardly any gains for the Russians, while in Liman, Kreminna direction, Russians have advanced towards Serebryansky forestry as well as towards Sterny. In east, in North Soledar Siversk regions, Russians advance little bit towards Bogdanovka. On Bakhmut front, Ukrainians carried out counterattacks and had limited success in Krasnoye direction, where Russian army controls more than 50%. Russian army's offensive operations towards Bogdanovka continues. On Avdiivka front, Ukrainians are carrying out various counterattacks from Berdichi, Orlovka to Tonenko direction. Russians, however, made some gains in the south of Avdiivka. In Novomikhailovka direction, almost 1.5 km, while in north-northwest towards Okeretino, no changes. On Marinka front, Russians' offensive operations continuing. In north as well as in the western direction towards Pervomaisky, Russian army made some gains in the central street of the city. Heavy interdiction missions continues from both the sides. Russian advance may seem to have slowed down. Nonetheless, they are holding the initiative despite the attack by Ukrainians in Belgorod regions. Palestine Israel Middle East, in North Gaza, IDF airstrikes continuing, while in South, IDF has withdrawn most of its forces after the so-called completion of its task. While in West Bank, Israeli army is conducting huge raids, capturing almost 12 Palestinians every day. Hezbollah and IDF are exchanging rockets and other form of shells almost every day. In Red Sea, Houthis carried out attacks and hit 2 cargo ships with little damage, while the US Air Force carried out attacks on Houthis targets inside Yemen. There are fewer and fewer reports from the farmers' protests in Europe as well as India. Nonetheless, they are continuing. Macron, in an interview after having said earlier that France is ready to send its troops into Ukraine, now has taken a turn, says that France will never take an initiative in military operation in Ukraine. However, he added that West should not allow Russia to win, because after that victory, no one is going to believe in European Union and his existence will be ruined. American Senate leader has said that there is need to have an election in Israel to oust Netanyahu, as he has lost his ways and he keeps his political career ever the interest of Israel. And you can imagine the backlash from the top Zionist leaders in Israel against USA, or so-called US leaders who are against Zionist regime. Nonetheless, all are same. They are not against the existence of Zionist regime in Middle East as an outpost of American military extension. That brings an end to my talk of the day, friends. See you tomorrow.